As wars continue to rage in key regions of the world, a surprising reality is emerging. In many cases, the pressure of conflict is now being felt more on the global stage than by the directly involved parties themselves. At first glance, that sounds impossible. After all, the people living in war zones face the bombs, the displacement, the shortages, and the trauma. But when analysts speak of pressure, they often mean political strain, economic disruption, diplomatic fallout, and strategic consequences. And in that sense, the ripple effects are now hitting countries far beyond the battlefield. Take global energy markets. A single missile strike near a major shipping lane can send oil prices upward within hours. Insurance costs for tankers rise, freight rates jump, investors panic. Consumers thousands of miles away suddenly pay more for fuel, food, and transport. Then there is the supply chain effect. Modern economies depend on stable trade routes. When conflict threatens choke points like the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea, or the Black Sea, the entire world feels it. Delays at sea can impact factories, supermarkets, and inflation rates from Europe to Asia. Diplomatic pressure is also intensifying. Governments not directly involved in the war are being forced to take sides, vote in international forums, issue sanctions, provide aid, or increase military spending. Neutrality becomes harder to maintain when global alliances are tested. Public opinion adds another layer. Images from war zones spread instantly through social media. Citizens in democratic countries pressure leaders to act, condemn, intervene, or cut ties. Street protests in capitals far from the battlefield can reshape foreign policy decisions overnight. Meanwhile, the parties directly involved in the war often adapt to conflict conditions over time. Economies militarize, populations normalize emergency life. Political leadership uses nationalism to maintain support. In some cases, those at war become more insulated from pressure than outside nations dealing with the consequences. There is also a financial paradox. Defense industries may profit. Energy exporters may benefit from higher prices. Some states gain leverage by mediating or exploiting instability. War can damage one region while enriching others, but the biggest cost may be strategic uncertainty. Businesses delay investment. Airlines reroute flights. Governments rethink security doctrines. Central banks watch inflation risks. Military planners prepare for escalation scenarios. Even nations far from the front lines are forced into wartime calculations. This is why many modern conflicts no longer remain local. They become global stress tests. The battlefield may be limited by geography, but the consequences are not. And in today's interconnected world, pressure from war can sometimes weigh heavier in boardrooms, parliaments, markets, and foreign capitals than on the governments actually fighting it. That does not lessen the suffering of those directly involved. It simply shows how modern war has changed. A conflict in one corner of the map can shake the entire system. So while soldiers fight and civilians endure on the ground, the rest of the world is increasingly paying in another currency: instability.